We continue now at the top of Daf Yomi and Meseches Taanis. This is Taanis Daf 10b. The Brisa here continues. Uv'yamim tovim haksuvin b'Megillas Taanis. We also don't fast on the Yamim tovim that are written in Megillas Taanis, just like we don't fast on Rosh Chodesh. And the Gemara continues. Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught al yomer adam talmid ani. A person shouldn't say, "I'm just a student." Any roy lios yachid. I should be considered a yachid, one of those special individuals. I shouldn't be allowed to fast along with them. Rashi over here says, "Ve'eni chashav kol kach yechidim." A person shouldn't say, "I'm not so important like these yechidim." Kilomar any roy lahaschil tainasim am yechidim. Meaning, I'm not fit to begin fasting together with the yechidim. A person should not say that. Elakol talmidei chachamim. Rather, all talmidei chachamim yechidim, they're considered yechidim, and they can fast as well. Ezehu yachid ve'ezehu talmud. Now, what is a yachid and what is a talmud? So yachid, what is a yachid? Kol sharoi limno so parnis alat tzibur. Anybody who's fit to appoint this individual as a leader over the community. Talmud, and what's considered a Talmud? Kol sheshoel and also dvar halacha b'limudo. Anyone who they ask him a dvar halacha in something that he's learning, v'yomer, and he can answer, he can say, v'yafilu b'Meseches de kala, even the Masechet of the kala. That means to say, even the Masechet that they were learning that year, the kala was the shir that was given publicly for the community. So even if he just knows that particular topic, that is enough to be considered a Talmud. And the Gemara continues, Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, lo kol harotza lasos atzmo yachid osa, Talmud osa divrei Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says, not anyone who wants to conduct himself like a yachid or to conduct himself like a Talmud is allowed to do that. That's considered like arrogance. Rabbi Yossi says, osa, he is allowed to conduct himself in this fashion. V'zachar latov, and he should be remembered for good. Lefisha ein shavachulo, because it's not a praise for him. Elat sarulo, it's actually a pain for him, meaning the person is going along and he's fasting. And so therefore, if he's causing himself pain, there's no problem with that. Tanya Yidach, we learned in another brisa, lo kol harotza lasos atzmo yachid osa talmud osa. It says again, not everybody who wants to consider themselves like a yachid, act like a yachid, or act like a talmud can do that. Divrei Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, that's the opinion of Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says, B'amed devarim amurim, when is this true? B'davar shel shavach. That's something, if he's doing it, and it's something that he's going to be praised for it. It's something that's a praise. Avol b'davar shel tsar, but something that he's doing that's a pain, meaning in this situation, let's say like you're fasting, Osa, he can do that, he can conduct himself in that manner, v'zachar latov, and he should be remembered for good for doing that, she'ein shevach hulo, because this is not a praise for him, elat tsar hulo, this is a pain for him. And the Gemara continues, Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, misha yemesana alat tsar, let's say somebody's fasting because of some difficult situation that is occurring v'avra, and then that situation passes. Al hacholo, let's say somebody is fasting over somebody who's sick, v'nisrape, and then that person becomes healed. Harezeh misana umashlam, the person should still complete the fast. Rashi over here says, Al hachola v'nisrape hu adin, in meisa chola. The same is true if the chola should die. Boy lekiyume nidro. The point is that the person needs to fulfill his neder that he's going to fast. Al atzara v'yavra, again, somebody's fasting over a difficult situation and it passes. Misana umashlam. He has to fast, he has to complete the fast. V'imlav, and if not near a kemasnim kono, then already looks like he's being a condition with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Im tav or esana, v'imlav lo esana. It looks like he's saying, well, if it passes, then I'm going to stop my fast, and if it doesn't pass, then I'm going to fast. And that's not appropriate, so the person needs to complete the fast. And the Gemara continues, Ha'holech mimakom she'ein misanan l'makom she'misanan. Let's say a person goes from a place where they're not fasting to a place where they are fasting. Hareza misana imohen. So then he has to fast together with them. Let's say it's the other way around. Mimakom she'misanan l'makom she'ein misanan. He goes from a place where they are fasting to a place where they're not fasting. Hareza misana umashlam. Whatever fast he's doing, that the people of his hometown accepted upon themselves, he needs to do it, and he needs to fast and complete the fast. Shachach v'achal v'shasa. Let's say a person forgot that it was a fast day, and he ate and he drank. Al yisroa b'fnei hatzibur. He shouldn't, so to speak, show off in front of the community as if he's not fasting. V'al yadneg yidunin bi'atzmo. He shouldn't treat himself pleasurably and say, oh, I'm eating a lot today because I'm not fasting and everyone else is. Shenemar, because the pasuk says, Vayomer Yaakov Levanav, the Yaakov said to his sons, Lama Tisro. What does it mean, Lama Tisro? So the Gemara explains, Zamar Lam Yaakov Levanav, Yaakov said to his children, Al tiru atzmachem keshatem seveyin. Don't show that you're all satisfied, that you have plenty. Lo b'fnei Esav, lo b'fnei Yishmael. Don't show that to the children of Esav and the children of Yishmael. Kidei shelo yiskanu b'chem, because then they'll be jealous. In other words, if one person is, let's say, eating, he has plenty of food, or in this case, he's not fasting, and everyone else around him is, so then the person shouldn't publicly eat and give himself a lot of food, because, again, then it creates a kind of jealousy. And the Gemara continues darshaning the psukim by the children of Yaakov. Al tirgazu badarach, Yosef tells the brothers, don't fight on the road. What does that mean? Amar Rebbe Elazar says, Amar Lehem Yosef la'echav, Yosef said to his brothers, Al tesasku b'dvar halacha, don't discuss divrei halacha on the road. Shema tirgazu alechem haderech, because then maybe you'll get into a dispute about it, and it's going to cause problems in the travels. So the Gemara says, Ini, is that really the case? V'amar Rabbi Eloi bar Berchia, but Rabbi Eloi bar Berchia says, Shnei talmidei chachamim shemahalchim b'derech. Let's say you have two talmidei chachamim, they're walking on the road. Ve'ein beinein divrei Torah, and they're not learning divrei Torah between them. Ru'uyin lisarif, then they're fit to be burned. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, Vayihei maholchim holoch v'daber v'hinei rechavesh v'susayesh v'yafridu bein shneim. This is talking about Eliyahu and Elisha, and there was a chariot and a horse of fire, and it came and it separated between them. And the understanding is, Taima de'iko dibor, the reason why it didn't consume them, the reason why it didn't burn them is because there was, again, like it says over here, holoch v'daber, they were going and they were speaking divrei Torah. Haleko dibor, but without that speech, ru'uyin lisarif, they were fit to be burned. So you see the same thing over here. On the contrary, it's appropriate to have divrei Torah on the road. And so the Gemara says, Lokash, it's not difficult. Hola migras, in one case we're talking about just going over the learning, nothing that's too deep, too analytical, that's okay. But hola yune, but if you're inspecting it, if you're examining it, in other words, you're learning in depth, that's going to be a problem again, because it can cause that there be arguments on the road. And the Gemara continues with another explanation of al tirgazu b'darech b'masnisa tana. In the Brisa was taught al tafsiu psia gasa. When you're traveling, don't take large steps. And also when you stay overnight, you should do it by the daytime, meaning you should travel by day. You shouldn't be traveling at all at night. You should leave in the morning when it's light outside, and you should find a place to stay. Also, while it's still light outside, you should find a place to stay overnight. Al tafsiu psia gasa. Why is it that you don't take large steps? The Amar Mar, because the master said psia gasa. Now tell us echad mechamesh meyos mimuor einav shaladim. A person takes large steps. It takes away 1/500th of the person's vision. V'echnisu chama le'ir, and you should enter while the sun is still out in the city. K'd Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, that follows what Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, because Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Li'olam yetzei adam b'chitov, v'yikones b'chitov. A person should always go out when it's kitov. It says in the pasuk, Vayar Elokim esa or kitov. The light is good, so kitov is an expression for light, meaning you should go out when it's light, and you should enter when it's light. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, haboker, or when the morning light came, v'anashim shulchu. That's when the men were sent out. So that's where we see this idea that you should travel when it's light outside. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav Yechia. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav Yechia, Hamahalech b'derech, if somebody's traveling, al yochal yoser mishnei ravon, he shouldn't eat more than he would normally eat during a time of famine. And during a time of famine, a person rations the amount of food he eats. The same should be when a person is traveling. My time, what's the reason? Hacha targimu. Here they say the reason is mishum maina, because of the digestive system. In other words, when a person is traveling and eating a lot, it causes digestive problems. The Ma'arava Amri in the West, they said a different reason, mishum mizone. It's because of food. In other words, the person should ration the food, because you don't know if the food's going to last when you're traveling. The Gemara says, my beinayu, what's the difference between these two opinions? Ika beinayu, the difference is, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph.